If something was to happen, I know that I've had no regrets in my life whatsoever.
Life is fragile, and there's a real sense of helplessness.
I've not got anything left to give.
I just really want to get home.
The vast Pacific Ocean is a formidable force. In the history of humans, only very few have been able to cross it.
The man and his partner were pulled from heavy seas 11 days ago.
6 metre swell struck the rower's boat, rolling it.
2 women rowers spent 16 hours clinging to the hull of their boat in the Atlantic Ocean.
This was their second failed attempt.
Now a dramatic rescue at sea. A giant wave caught them by surprise, instantly flipping the boat over.
She had to cling on for her life as the boat capsized over and over again.
The whole trip very nearly ended in tragedy.
Now to the story of 4 women who are about to embark on an incredible challenge.
The first all-woman crew to row more than 8,000 miles across the world's largest ocean.
An amazing journey rowing across the Pacific Ocean.
From California in the US to Cairns in Australia.
2 will row as 2 sleep below deck. 2 hours on, 2 hours off. 24 hours a day.
There'll be no support boat in the Pacific. They reckon it'll take them 6.5 months.
So why would 4 women take on this dangerous task? Arguably the hardest ocean crossing in the world.
My name's Laura Pinhall, and I'm part of the Cox's crew. It's really bizarre to be here because this is 3.5 years in the making. We're doing a team selection, trying to select the right crew and looking at different personalities. We are focusing a lot at the moment on our physical training, but I would say 80% of it is going to be our mental strength. It's a massive expedition. It's one thing thinking it is whether you actually go through with it.
It's been a long road to the start line. In October 2012, we chose to represent breast cancer care, and I decided to use all of my savings to begin construction on Doris. A year and a half into the project, Cambridge rower Emma Mitchell joined the team. There was a lot of hard work securing the sponsorships that we needed. We did a final recruitment in May of 2014, and this is where we met Izzy, Natalia, as well as our 2 reserve rowers, Lizanne and Meg. We've trained extensively, both mentally and physically, to make sure we are best prepared for anything that we face.
At the end of the day, it's unsupported, and we've got to roll with punches as part of the expedition. To me, if you've then got somebody following you along, it's too easy to have an option to jump out and go, we'll just jump on that bigger ship because that's going to be a bit more comfortable, rather than actually riding out the storm and doing what we've set out to do. When people have second-guessed it or not believed in it, it's only driven me more to want to make it happen.
She didn't want to look back in 10 years' time and say, I wish I'd done that. She just said, we're going to do it.
You need to fit everything in that cabin first, then we can go. I think at the moment, being on the oars in Doris is my happy place. I'll see if that's still the case by the time we get to Australia.
When Emma got involved in rowing, she must have been like 12, 13 years old. She stopped everything for rowing. It was fairly phenomenal what an impact rowing had on her. It was like this focus, this drive that gave her strength and character, and she loved it. I mean, she was out at 5 o'clock in the morning. She would be blue with the cold when she'd come back.
It could be a midlife crisis, but it would be quite an impressive midlife crisis to have. You know, what did you do? Well, I rowed across the Pacific.
So here we are, we're going to go and see Natalia getting her ECG done. Hey, Kat!
She's lived an amazing life of 15 years of just going from place to place and only doing the things that she truly loves and adores. It's crazy. I've never known, and I'm sure I will never meet anybody like it again.
I'm not going to say I want her to be married and go and have children, because I really don't care. If that's not her life, that's not her life. She must just be fulfilled, and whatever she does.
All of my past experiences have actually been so instrumental into getting me here.
Just feels really strange. It feels slightly like just a training row as well, but I'm sure it'll be real soon enough.
Isabel has climbed to over 6,000-metre peaks in the Himalayas, and when she heard about this, she saw it as a really serious challenge and she wanted to pursue it.
I like to not stick out, and I like to take the ordinary course. It's quite hard to actually stop and say, you know what, I think I want to do something massively different. The main reason is to test myself and just to see what I'm capable of.
So if you can imagine the wind's coming from that direction, from over there, yeah? You would put the power anchor in on that corner, yeah?
Tony is our shore support. He will be in touch with us on a daily basis whilst we're out on the ocean.
Make sure it's really done up tight.
I hear the girls are going to break lots of records. The girls aren't going to break any records. They're actually going to establish records, because this has never been done before. The fact that it hasn't been done before is testament to how tough it is.
We're rowing from San Francisco to Hawaii, have a few days to restock the boat, and then we row between Hawaii and Samoa. And then the final leg is from Samoa over to Cairns in Australia. The whole journey in total is 8,446 miles.
What I loved about this route in particular is there's never been a male team either. This is the first fours boat ever to cross the Pacific Ocean, north or south.
I've had moments that I found it absolutely devastating, the idea that she's doing it.
I'm her mum. She's still my little girl. She's about to go out onto that huge ocean, and a bit of me is terrified.
What is a strange sense of calm? Let's hope it's not the calm before the storm. See you later.
We're about to row the Pacific.
So surreal.
3 cheers for Doris. Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray!
So this is it. The journey has begun. This is really happening. We're starting to get our routines a little bit slicker, getting on and off the oars, which is good. This is just going to be a period of adjustment.
We just got off the oars, and about an hour ago we saw a whale in the distance.
Oh my God, Jesus, he's huge!
Neither of us had ever seen a whale before. It just poked its blowhole out.
One came and like fully breached out of the water.
I was fairly petrified, to be honest. Petrified stroke fascinated. It was the strangest feeling I've ever had. I'd love to capture that feeling and put it in a bottle. I've never felt so alive. There's not many things where I feel adrenaline like that. Day 1, 154 days to go.
It's 1:30 in the morning.
It is indeed.
And we've just done our first fully dark night shift.
So we're going to snooze until 3 o'clock. And then, and then we're back on the oars at 3:15.
Life on Doris is beautifully simple. All you have to do is sit on the oars and row for 2 hours, and then you have your 2 hours where you're either eating or sleeping or doing like the jobs and stuff that you need to do on the boat.
Doris is our pink 29-foot ocean rowing boat.
There's 2 cabins, one at each end. The cabins are about the size of a fairly small 2-man tent. We've got solar panels along the top of the boat, and they're connected to our batteries, which are underneath the bit that we sleep on in the cabin.
If we drain those batteries, we've got no way of using our GPS or making water and stuff off the electric, so we need to be really careful and calculated about that.
I tell you what, spend 48 hours just sitting in your own bathtub at home, and imagine you've got a lid over it so you can't quite sit up straight, and that's pretty much what it's like in the fore cabin.
It is breakfast time. Emma is going to tell you what we have today.
On today's menu for Miss Isabel Burnham, we have some beef shepherd's pie. This is our cooker. It's our little jet boil, so we have to boil up some water.
We should probably run the water maker as well.
We've got enough food to give each of us about 5,000 calories every day, and the bulk of those calories come from our expedition foods, which are freeze-dried ration packs. And there we go, then we just leave it for a little while to rehydrate, and then hot food. Thanks, Ems.
Night shifts are the worst because you just wake up, you've got to get back into cold and wet, soggy, wet weather gear and wet socks and wet shoes, and you've got to get out of a warm sleeping bag and then half fall asleep if you're some of us. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the ritual that happens every 2 hours without fail.
We've been at sea. It's a beautiful sunny day, and it would be really lovely, except for the fact that there is a lot of wind and a lot of very big waves, which are quite scary. Every time you go on the oars, you get completely soaked.
A little bit of a frustrating day today, to be honest. The wind is pushing us back towards the coastline, and the wind's due to pick up again this evening. The size of these waves are slightly scaring me a little bit. They're pretty massive. Today they seem to have got a hell of a lot bigger. One minute you're looking up at a 3-4 story house, and then the next minute you're on top of the Pacific. They're huge. The wind's just too strong. It's about 25 to 28 knots. We basically have to sit tight here for the next pretty much 48 hours. We want to be out there rowing, and we want to be rowing in the right direction.
That was a bit of a drama. We went to go and check on the batteries, and I pulled the cushions back. The whole hatch was full of water. We lost the MPPT box, which is basically the bit of equipment that connects the solar panels and the batteries. The thing is we're now coming into night time, and at the moment we're not emitting any signal, which is a bit of a concern of whether boats, well, they won't see us basically. So we've checked all the other hatches, and actually there's a load of water and a load of other hatches.
Our decision was made for us, really. We're going to have to go back to land. Very depressing, very frustrating, but there's nothing we can do about it. Right now we're actually heading for Santa Barbara.
Yeah, it's not a great start to an ocean road, that's for sure.
Being out here is maybe a question why are we out here, why are we doing this, why did I persevere for 4 years to make sure this project got off the ground, and not just because I know that I'm bloody stubborn. The story of why we're here and why we're doing it for breast cancer, you know, like Patricia was the most beautiful woman and she was in the perfect place.
Patricia was the person that would walk into a room and everybody would be drawn to her. She's just lovely.
It was actually her husband, Rashid, that I know very well. They had just been on their honeymoon and she fell pregnant, and they were just in that perfect bubble. And then unfortunately, 2 months into her pregnancy, she found a lump. He was hugely premature, but he survived it, and little Yassine he's gorgeous.
She just drew on this strength and resilience that Rashid talks about, which is just unbelievable.
Are we good? Did we catch him? Yeah, we caught him. And we caught him.
I saw her within that period and she was experiencing a lot of neck pain and back pain. So we sent her back to her oncologist, and that's when they sort of found that she had secondaries.
You're gonna give Mama a kissy? Give Mama a kissy, come on.
I took each day for granted, and you know, don't do that. Just get on with life.
So what happens if things get difficult?
You just keep going and you keep going and you keep going.
And it was within about 2 months after that that she passed away.
I guess out here it just makes you realise all of those sorts of things. Simple things like love, having friends and family around you that are just amazing. And I guess the point is life's too short and you really do have to live it. And we really, really believe in that. And that's why we're here and that's why we're doing what we're doing.
Patricia wouldn't have given up at all. She was fighting for her life, so we can fight to get across to Australia.
Seamanship is about making the right decisions at the right times, and that's what they've done. You want to do that bow line for us now? They are now actually further away from Honolulu than they were when they started out in San Francisco. Also, they've come further south now, so they've lost the advantage of being able to get west from a more northerly position. So, in all honesty, it's likely to be a longer row starting out from Santa Barbara than it was starting out from San Francisco.
What we've just done was a perfect insight into the hardships that are going to come. It's going to be a long journey, but it's going to be an amazing one.
Nat looks very happy to be back outside on the oars. Try as we might, we are still only just about going west, but it is better than southeast. We haven't seen the sunshine, the stars or the moon for about a week. We're hoping that at some point soon the weather starts to get a little bit better.
We have got both wind and current now against us. This is fine, it's just part of the challenges. We just ticked off 300 miles. So like totally nearly there. It's only like 2,000 to go and that's Hawaii. We'll be there like in a couple of days. Oh, dear. It's Emma's birthday today. She's 30. And it's actually been a blue sky day, which is great. So we've just set up some balloons. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Emma's amazing. She is very different to anyone that I would ordinarily be friends with because she's very quiet and very introverted and isn't incredibly emotional or expressive. She's just really steady, and I think I'm going to value that hugely on the boat.
You can tell with Emma, she just loves rowing. She's just so happy as soon as she gets onto the oars.
It's one of those sports that when you start it, you kind of get hooked because it's more than just the actual exercise bit. It's such a community and such a team activity.
Something on all of that. A little oar with a little message on the back.
Ems leaves her heart and soul on those oars every time.
She's going to be one of the rocks in the boat that keeps us all together.
Good morning. We're now heading on a bearing to Hawaii again, which is quite exciting, and hopefully we'll pick up a bit of speed.
We're making progress, very slowly, but making progress because we are moving west. And we've slipped into this pattern, really. To be honest, for me, it's become quite a monotonous pattern. The shifts move very, very quickly on the oars, off the oars, daytime into nighttime, nighttime into daytime, rowing, resting, resting.
I think the overall effect of living life in 2-hourly chunks is that you're so focused on each 2 hours that you just don't notice where the time's gone.
The biggest surprise for me is actually how quickly we adapt as human beings, physically and mentally, to a situation that we put ourselves in. My main concern right now is that we have a weather window when we look at the full picture for getting to Cairns. The longer we take on this leg, the less time we have to do the other legs, and it has a knock-on effect. It's ridiculous that you never just hear nothing out here. We're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and there's not a sound.
Missing home a bit today, just thinking that missed out on quite a lot while we've been out here. But then again, you sort of are here on a night like this or an afternoon like today in the sunshine, and you think that you'd rather be doing this than anything else. I have big concerns about the amount of stress that I'll be putting my family under. I think they felt it was an unnecessary risk to take because they didn't understand the motivation, and if you don't understand why someone would want to do it, then of course it seems like an unnecessary and crazy thing to do.
I have very, very supportive friends, but they have no comprehension of how difficult it is because their children have not decided that they're going to do something quite so extreme.
And you ask me, would I ever row an ocean? The reason I say no is because I know how tough it is to row an ocean. I know how much you've got to want to do it.
When I started, I knew it would be a big project, but I didn't realise how big. Before we left San Francisco, I made the difficult decision to only row one leg. As much as I desperately wanted to row the whole way, the only thing that's more important than what I really want to do is my family.
Very lovely. Let's resume. Rowing. We don't do enough of this. We only do 12 hours of this every day.
We've only done 1,200 miles so far.
Yeah, not a lot.
Within the first 3 minutes speaking to Laura, I just knew that we had a very similar value system.
I've always wanted to sort of have an impact and make sure that my life I've kind of achieved things that have made a difference.
I've always loved doing sport. As a kid, I would either be doing cross-country running and playing hockey or netball. Even at the age of 12, I knew that I wanted to be a physio. And now, 32, I am a physio, but I think it was something like when I was about 8, I'd watched the Olympics and said to my mum and dad, one day I'd love to be at the Olympics, not realising what capacity. Now I've been to 2 Paralympics, and we've got Rio when I finish the row.
My work is part of my identity, it's what I live for. To me, being involved in Rio is kind of the pinnacle of my career. But I think sometimes you've really got to go with your gut when you know there's certain opportunities that come up and you just know you have to take.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. I think we'd follow her wherever she wanted to take us, really.
Yes, Doris, go ahead.
Yeah, we can see you approaching us at the moment. If you could just keep a bit of a safe distance, we have pretty much no manoeuvrability.
We won't hit you, don't worry about that.
Yeah, we're on day 57 since we left Santa Barbara.
A long slog. Weather forecast, have you seen it? You're gonna get bounced around. You'll feel it.
Day 59, tropical storm Ella. Lots of waves coming over, heavy wind.
The wind has picked up again and we were getting blown really far south.
There's big swells and we're on the edge of a tropical rainstorm and there's a lot going on.
Really windy out there. We're fighting against the wind and the current as well at the moment. I feel a little bit like you get hit by a bus, to be honest.
instruction was you've got to row, and it's almost having to convince myself every single stroke to just not stop.
We're rowing like we've never rowed before.
Look that! Land ahoy, baby!
Here we are, about 1 mile to go.
Less 0.2 miles to the entrance.
We're nearly there. We're so nearly there.
Me and the ladies are bringing her home. Coming back to land and eating fresh, hydrated food was absolutely incredible. I think as well as the taste, sensation, it's also the colours, the array of colours that you get in real food that you just don't get in dehydrated food.
This whole meal is heaven. This is the one plus about rowing an ocean, so you can eat brownies for days.
My name's Lizanne Van Veeren, and I was born in South Africa. I wasn't the typical, I guess, girl who played inside with dolls all day. I was a bit of a tomboy. I messaged Laura and I said, what you're doing is amazing. So she messaged me back and said, well, why don't you join me? I don't row, I don't live in England, so you must be joking. And she said, none of that matters. So I was held as a reserve, and then Laura called me and said, can you still do it? And I was like, okay. And that was it. I'll be rowing to Samoa, and then Megan Dios will take over from me and go to Cairns. It's just something so far from what I've ever done before or even thought possible.
Thanks for making this happen, for finally being an amazing team. So proud of all of you, and of Meg, who's not here. But cheers, and thanks for the first leg, Izzy. We've adored you, and we're going to miss you massively.
Cheers, ladies.
I don't think I realised how such different reasons would bring 4 people to do the same thing. My part of the journey has come to an end. Couldn't have asked for any more from my experience.
California to Hawaii was, in theory, going to be the easy leg. Leg 2 is a tough one, really. Leaving from here, they've got to row more or less due south.
It's supposed to take about 60 days, but just who knows? I mean, the problem is this year is El Nino. We hadn't factored in actually how much of an effect that's had on the trade winds, just because there basically isn't any trade winds, so there's no assistance, and a lot of ocean rowing is about assistance with the wind.
Yeah, it's all getting real now. It feels like I'm in a completely different world. I can't explain it.
It's just like we've been taken from our day-to-day life and just inserted in the ocean, and all you have to do is row.
Oh my god.
Rosanna and I just stuck our heads in to see the fishies up close and personal. Here she comes. She's got the old fishing hook.
So,
has it got instruction manual with it?
I'm not really one for instruction manual anyway, so I think that's all right. But maybe if we find it in the book and it's edible, we can cut it open and eat it. Would you?
Yeah, too right.
Okay.
Give it a go. Yeah. Maybe. I really connect with Lisanne. She's just a breath of fresh air. It's just been a really different energy to have on the boat, which I think for the three of us doing the full journey is really important. And it's Saturday, which means it's Lipstick Saturday. We just had a really, really lovely shift. We saw a beautiful little turtle.
Yeah, on his own, just bobbing along next to us.
There's something about being out here and there's no noise, just nothing apart from us. It's amazing. Don't even have like an engine to ruin that for us.
The mirrors feel like we're standing still. I now realise why people love rowing. It is so soothing.
Off the oars after 2 hours in crazy wind and waves and rain, which was pretty unpleasant, and we haven't really made very much progress during that 2 hours. In the time it took us to swap over, we've drifted north again, so we need to go south. Okay, I'll get up in a couple of hours and do the logbook. We're drawing a pretty beautiful picture. We're now going east.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, just radio us if you need anything.
Hi guys.
They've got a crossover through the intertropical convergence zone, which is the doldrums, as the old sailors used to call it. There's a current which is running in the opposite direction, so it's running east. So a little bit like a riptide on a beach. They can't try and fight into it, they need to get across it.
We seem to have entered the equatorial countercurrent, which is pushing us east very fast, and then we've got a southerly wind which is pushing us north, meaning that for quite a lot of the night we've been going northeast.
And Samoa from here is southwest.
It's a lot of thunder activity, so it's going to be hot and humid. A large area to cross where the current's going to be taking them in the wrong direction.
What's going on, LB?
I'm feeling really nauseous. So I just stay like this for a while and then it goes away.
We're very much in the thick of the whole doldrum stuff going on at the moment, so some really weird weather.
So much torrential rain and squalls and dramatic skies, pan-flat oceans, incredible lights reflected on the water, just an ocean that I'd never known before.
It's day 34 and I'm still being seasick. I'm sick of being sick. I can't really keep food down. My energy levels are low. There's never a time on the boat where you miss a shift. There's never a time where you ask someone to sub in for you. You carry on, 2 hours on, 2 hours off. I was sick over the side. I'd get back up and I'd carry on rowing.
It's just a little bit painful at the moment. You know, occasionally we'll pick up speed and it'll be great, but it won't last for longer than a couple of shifts.
We've really struggled with adverse currents, adverse winds. We don't seem to have had a lot of help going on at all from Mother Nature. This lake has been a fight. I feel like we've been fighting the ocean, fighting the currents, fighting the winds, fighting the little gremlins in my head that are telling me that we're never going to get there.
We thought we'd be at the equator well over 2 weeks ago. It's us against the currents and we can't row any harder than we are already. Our hands aching and just trying to row as hard as we can. I think we're all getting a little bit low.
It's day 42. We are still stuck in the doldrums, literally. We're just having a look at the chart plotter. We've got about 239 nautical miles to go until we hit the equator. At the current speed at which we're travelling, it will take us about another 20 days just to get to the equator. How do you feel about that, LP?
Great.
I'm so excited to see Samoa. I've been waiting for this for a year and a bit.
This is why you joined the road,
Pretty
to come
much.
to Samoa.
To see Samoa. I thought, what a great way to get to Samoa.
You've seen a lot of sights in your time.
I look out into that ocean and my thoughts just stop. I don't know if that's because I'm so used to spending time traveling and being on my own. It's definitely the furthest outside of my comfort zone I will ever have been, in respect to the fact that I've never rowed before.
If I believed it was a predominantly physical challenge, I wouldn't have applied. This challenge is 90% mental. And I always believe that you do your most developing and growth when you're outside your comfort zone.
When you put your mind to something, anything is truly possible, and I'm learning that. Just had this overwhelming feeling come over me, where I just decided that I just didn't want to row anymore. I just got so bored of the motion of going forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards. So I screamed out into the air. The reason that I'm doing this row is to test the strength of my human spirit and to find where that place is deep inside, where you have to dig deep when things get tough. Things are just taking us a lot longer than we anticipated. But it's these kind of moments, an amazing sky, 4 friends on a boat, and that makes it all alright.
Very poignant moment.
Why is that?
Because we're near the equator!
We've been waiting for this moment for
Ever.
54 days, I do believe.
We're here, that's all that flipping matters.
Yeah, exactly.
3!
Very slow countdown. 2! 1! Woo! The equator! We're at the equator!
We'd like to make a toast to Neptune. Thank you for getting us to the equator safely. And your emotion has become very special to all of us. So, cheers!
Salud! Cheers!
And please, will you make us go quicker from here on?
When we crossed the equator, Tony sent us a message and he was like, you know what, congratulations, you're the first team of 4 who's ever rowed across the equator. We are self-supporting ourselves and we're this tiny little boat in this massive ocean, and that's pretty special.
After struggling with currents and wind and doldrums, we are now into the heat phase. It is ridiculously hot outside and we're just dripping with sweat.
It's almost like unbearably hot, like you can hardly breathe, it's so hot.
We're back in the cabin and it's
99.9 degrees Fahrenheit and it feels cool, which is never a good sign.
Just come in from a 2-hour rowing session. Possibly the hottest I've ever been in my life. Fairly unbearable, just not knowing what to do with yourself.
Today we got an email from Tony talking about our timeline. So it's looking like it's going to take us at least another 30 days, which kind of makes us another month behind schedule. we had a little kind of chat about it all together, and Laura was saying, you know, we can't assume that everyone is okay with that and that everyone's going to want to get back in the boat in Samoa.
We're going to be rowing at Christmas.
Oh yeah. Christmas on Doris! No. LP can't be rowing Christmas on Doris.
It's actually my work. Like, part of why I'm here is because of what I do with Paralympics, and I'm working with the Paralympic team for British Athletics. And, you know, this year is not a great year for me to have been out doing this row. Like, it was already a problem when I postponed it. It was more of a problem myself. My work are brilliant. They've been extremely supportive, which is why it's even harder, because I just don't want to let the team down. But the problem is I don't want to let that team down, and I don't want to let this team down. I feel like I'm a little bit torn. And everything out here is taking so much bloody longer, and it's so unpredictable that I have no idea when we're going to finish this damn thing. The hardest thing is having to choose between the row or work. Not finishing this row and not being in Australia kills me. So it's basically my immediate family of 4 that are on this boat compared to the whole British Athletics team. I don't know.
I don't know if I want to be rowing at Christmas on Doris.
I don't want to be rowing on Christmas on Doris. But I don't want to not row all the way to Australia.
No, I know.
Before we set off on the row, Keith, our psychologist, got each of us doing a family plan. It was really difficult to do because you have to write a step-by-step plan of how do you want to find out if something happens to your family.
It was one of my fears before I got on the boat that something might happen to a family member or someone that I love, and that's happened. I received some news that, unfortunately, my uncle has lost his fight with cancer. And I didn't expect that to happen while I was on the boat. He was a remarkable man, and it breaks my heart that I can't be there with him right now. And there's a real sense of helplessness.
I'm so sorry that I'm not there. All I really wanted to do was just go for a walk and clear my head. And you can't. You're on that boat and you can't get away.
But what it has done is it has really driven home to me why I'm out here and why we're doing what we're doing. We're helping someone fight a fight. It's given me a push, and it's made me work that little bit harder to reach our destination. Life is fragile. That's why we're doing crazy things like row an ocean, because you only have one life, so you might as well make the most of it.
Oh my God, I can't believe we're there.
And we're a little bit worried that we're going to miss Samoa. Yeah, I don't want to miss Samoa because the next stop will be Fiji, and that's another 500 miles.
We're at 500-600 miles. There's a very strong westerly current and there's very strong winds of like 15 to 18 knots southeasterly. So at this precise moment, we're in fear of missing Samoa.
Been struggling with just doing the same thing every day and going so slowly, and it feels a bit endless at the moment.
We're just getting caught in the current still. We're going completely west now as well. It's a nightmare. We're doing what we can. We can only control the controllable.
Leg 2 has been really difficult for the majority of us on the boat. The monotony, the boredom, you know, Lizanne, bless her, losing her uncle. I've had issues with obviously the length of time we're now out here for has impacted on my work. But one person in particular is Emma, who's for a few weeks now has been in a really, really difficult sort of place, but hasn't been sharing it. But you knew that something was wrong. She's my teammate. You know, I want to make her happy, I want to see her smile, I want to hear her laugh. And she's not doing any of those things, and I don't know what I can do to help.
I'm so tired right now. We've just been rowing so hard every single shift, and I've not got anything left to give. I have, like, physically and mentally, I'm just completely exhausted. And I don't know how long we've still got to go to Samoa. We keep going a bit faster and we think we're going to get there, and then we slow down and start going the wrong way. Being out on the oars has always been where I've been really happy, and where I've started to really hate it. I've started to really hate every time I have to get out on the oars and row. I've been really struggling. I haven't been able to control the boat. It doesn't seem to matter what I do, it doesn't make any difference. Rowing has been a part of my life for such a long time, like a really important part. If someone told me I never had to row again, I'd be really happy. And that makes me really sad because but then we've still got a long way to go, another leg to get to Cairns, and I don't know if I can, yeah.
Position. I believe we're about 2 miles away, but I just want to double check that we're the little dot we're seeing on the horizon is actually them. Right on the horizon now, beautiful.
For Emma, this journey was a really big challenge because she wanted to be able to control the boat. And one person cannot control a 1-ton boat. You know, it's physically impossible.
When you gear yourself up for being at sea for 60 days and you're out there for over 90, it's got to affect how you feel, hasn't it?
When rowing wasn't fun for her anymore, it was really hard to watch because it wouldn't make her happy. It would make her frustrated. I hope that she finds a happy place.
What she's really needed to do is actually step back and take stock of not only what she's doing, but who she is as a person, really. Because I think, you know, when the essence of who you are is questioned, then where do you go from there?
Getting to the finish and knowing that you've achieved what you set out to achieve, you know, it's 4 years of hard work. I mean, to walk away from it any sooner than that, I would just be devastated. So to me, Australia's home and nothing ever before that.
That is like a big woman.
Rhino on.
Rhino on.
I can't believe I'm leaving. I can't believe this day has come. I've built a really special bond with each of you. Best of luck for your last leg. You've got an amazing new asset to the team. Meg, good luck. The value of a team is so much more than I'd ever imagined, and we will forever be the girls who rowed together.
My name is Meg Darce and I'm 25. No one tells you when you finish uni it's not very exciting. It's like, what do you want to do with your life? And it's always, you have to have an answer. When you don't have an answer, it's like, oh dear. And that's where it's sort of like, oh God, is there something wrong with me that I don't know what I want to do with my life? I've never rowed before. I've never been on a rowing boat. I've never been in the ocean. In all honesty, I have absolutely no idea why they chose me. I mean, I couldn't be happier that they chose me. And I really hope there is something that they've seen in me that can help us get to Australia. I mean, no pressure.
You know, the season is ticking on and we need to get them to Australia. But the fact that they're stopping and rowing again, that I've never had to do before with a team of rowers. I struggle to understand how hard that is going to be for them to get back on the boat.
I didn't expect the challenge of the row to be the fact that I would stop enjoying it. This is why I wanted to do the row. I wanted to challenge myself and I wanted to see if I could do it. We set out to row to Australia, and if it takes us 9 months, then it takes us 9 months. We're doing it. As hard as it is, we're actually doing it.
Just had a bit of a hit that this is the last time we step on Doris. The last leg, what we've been through. Yeah, feeling quite overwhelmed to be honest at the moment. In a good way.
Meg has no idea what she's got herself in for. And I'm quite looking forward to it.
Okay, Maggie, what are you having for dinner? Beef curry! It's my first try. It's actually a bit hot, so I'm gonna blur. But I'm really excited. I think I'm gonna like it. It smells great. Okay, I see why you don't like it.
We're training Maggie in how to row in big waves. She's doing very well.
There's just one thing I really want to try and get better at it, and it's just the routine. Just everything is routine. It doesn't, like, you never even know what the time is. You don't have a clue what the time is, ever.
What Meg doesn't realise still is that time has no meaning on Doris. It's just 2-hour shifts.
Being out here, I know when it's daylight, I know when it's night, and nothing else really matters.
When it's sunrise, the day begins, and when the sun sets, the day ends, and in between you just row or you don't row.
Those first few days, oh my god, the waves were so huge and we were being pushed off our seats, which is, by the way, one of the scariest things that could possibly happen, especially when you only learned to row about 2 days previous to leaving Samoa. I was just so scared, and the girls, none of them seemed scared, and it was just me, and I felt a bit alone. I felt really alone, actually. That's the thing, like, I'm the most underqualified rower by far. I know the bare minimum, and I'm kind of happy with that.
Leg 3, day 10. Time is flying. Flying. We're going fast still. We're not really sure what to do with this. We keep waiting for it to disappear. Every time we get out on the oars, we think we might be going slow again. But so far, it's still going quite fast.
We've been travelling at like an amazing speed and in the right direction, which is just unheard of.
So we've done 7 miles in the last 2 hours.
Woohoo! That's definitely the most miles that has been done on Doris.
We are less than 350 miles away from Vanuatu, which will be pretty much halfway, which is quite exciting.
Waking up every 2 hours at night, literally it feels like you've been hit by a sledgehammer, and you don't have any choice. That's the whole thing about this. It doesn't matter how bad you're feeling, you don't have a choice. You have to get back on the oars and you have to row.
We've just come in from, I'd say, one of the most hectic shifts we've had so far. Big, massive waves.
I don't think I've had a less fun shift on Doris so far.
These 3 girls, it makes me a bit emotional when I even think about them and just how far they've gone. And I feel like in each of them I've seen some sort of pain, and you can just tell that they've been at sea for a long time.
We've been living in this for 8 months.
It's become all that we've known, really.
This is just
and it's
life.
it's such a strange existence. 8 months is such a long time to do something. I wonder what we'll be like when we get back to that. Like, I wonder how quickly we'll adapt to sort of so much noise and pollution and people and...
Life will be so complicated after this.
There's definitely a big part of me that wants to hold on and wants to stay out here because of the utter beauty of where we are. There's just nothing like it. The only way I can describe it for me is that it's been ultimate freedom out here. Just freedom from societal norms, freedom from expectation, from the ego. It's just been an incredible opportunity to delve so deeply within your soul.
So yeah, it's crazy. I can't believe it's nearly Christmas. And when we left the UK, it was the very beginning of April. It's absolutely mental. I can't believe we're still out here. And I don't know how we're still doing what we're doing every day, every shift, but we are. Friends and family and stuff are all at home celebrating Christmas, and yeah, I just don't feel very Christmassy, even though we've got decorations up and we're listening to Christmas carols and stuff, and yeah, I just found it quite difficult really, being away. Didn't realise how difficult I'd find it. Hey Auntie Mary, how are you? Happy Christmas! Mum, the signal's not very good. I can't hear you very well. Oh, fuck's sake. The signal isn't very good. I can't hear you. Oh.
You not plug it in?
Oh, don't even get me started.
At home at the moment.
Oh yeah, it's Christmas Day at home.
It's about 3 p.m, which for me is the time when it's main course time. Main course.
It's roast potatoes time, let's face it. It's roast potatoes and gravy.
Yeah. But you know, here's way better. We've got socks on. I'm in a wet bed sheet.
Soggy sheet.
Ho ho ho, and welcome to Christmas on Doris.
Good morning, world. It is 1st of January.
This is definitely one of the best ways to bring in a new year. In the middle of this beautiful, wonderful, huge, enormous expanse of ocean.
It's day 55, and in my prediction, we have 15 days to go. In yours, we have 25.
Let's hope you're right.
The food is 13.
We had such such a good start to this leg and everyone got really overexcited. Our parents booked their flights to Australia to come and meet us, and then it's all just gone kind of horribly wrong.
This precise moment, I'm completely over it. My hip and back kind of really flared up. Over 215 days now at sea in total, not including our stop-offs. Having rowed over 7,000 flipping miles and been out here for nearly 9 months, it's starting to take its toll just a little bit. So looking forward to getting to that finish line, you will not believe. I just really want to get home.
The last few days have been a little bit of a struggle. Not only are we in a confined space, we're sleep deprived, we're quite often in physical pain. They're accumulative and they start to take their toll.
What's going on, Meg? I'm tired. I'm really tired and I can't stay awake. And I feel like I can't get the tiredness away because there's no time in the day to catch up on sleep.
We're gonna run out of meals soon.
Which means we've got to do 50 miles from tomorrow onwards.
Okay, we might. I reckon it'll take maybe 1 or 2 days longer than that.
1 or 2?
Hopefully, yeah.
So you think we might have 5 days without meals?
Yeah.
We're starving. So it feels like we haven't eaten for ages.
Forever. The last thing I had was M&M. Oh no, I had a packet of M&Ms, and then this morning I had a bag of nuts.
We had nuts a while ago.
So just come into the fore cabin after our sunset shift with Nat. Something's gone wrong with one of our batteries. They both drained completely and ran really low on power. So we had to switch everything off and navigate just using our compass. We haven't really got power to do anything else. So for the last few days we've been hand pumping water using our sort of emergency backup water maker. So in our 2-hour rest shifts, we've been having to spend an hour of that sitting out on deck in the heat and the sunshine, pumping water, which is actually surprisingly hard work. It's so painfully slow. So our electric water maker makes 30 litres of water an hour, and our hand pump makes about 3 litres of water an hour. And that's if you don't rest or drink or do anything while you're going. So obviously the longer that we're out here, we're getting into cyclone season, and that's not ideal. The winds are getting less and less favourable, the risk of cyclones is getting higher. We're definitely not as strong as we used to be.
You can make landfall on a beach to complete the record. Looks like it's our only choice.
How close are they?
They're within 2 miles. They're about 1.5 miles away.
We're about 20 miles away from Cairns, and this should be one of the best moments of the trip. Yet, as always seems to happen, we get thrown another challenge. We're fighting wind now and current, and it doesn't look likely that we're going to make the marina where we're supposed to sort of arrive, where we should have actually arrived about 2 days ago. So we have one last option, which is to get to landfall. So it's not the marina, but it's land, and that will at least mean it's a successful expedition. Due to adverse currents and lack of food, we have until sunrise tomorrow to make that landfall.
Otherwise, we may need to be rescued.
It's just so near, but yet so freaking far. Like how a project could just be disqualified in the last like 20 miles because we can't reach land.
This is giving 110% into every stroke, which we're not too sure if it's sustainable or not, to be honest.
Over 8,000 nautical miles from America to Australia. And all that matters is the last 2.15 nautical miles. This is it. This is the final push. We can do this.
We're here, we're like, I can see land out the window, like that's Australia. And it's really bizarre to think of everything that we've gone through for 4 years of relentless, not giving up, of persevering, of just believing in something so strongly to make it happen, and it's here.
For the expedition to be complete, we needed to go from mainland America to mainland Australia. And the thing is, currents and winds have not been in our favour lately, so instead of rowing into the marina, which has taken us way too long, and we've just been caught by the currents, decided to come and bring her in to a beach on the mainland, and then very kindly, sort of a couple of Australians that live here have offered then that they would tow us around to the marina.
All that matters now is planting our feet on the shore of Australia and making history.
The girls landed on a beach so they could claim the land-to-land unassisted record. They then had to get back on Doris, row back out and be towed into the marina where all their family and friends were waiting.
All I kept thinking about is, one day somebody's going to do this. So what's going to make them be able to do it over you guys? It's only the fact of digging deep and just keep getting back up every time you get knocked down.
I feel like I could be a bit on edge and either cry or laugh. I'm not sure which way yet.
The Cox's crew is the thing that I've felt the most passionate about in my life. I feel like it's given me a massive purpose. I don't know what it is yet. I really don't, but that doesn't scare me.
It's been 9 months since we left from San Francisco, and we rode our little Doris under the Golden Gate Bridge, not really knowing what we were letting ourselves in for. I don't think I ever found it as my happy place again. But when I think back to being on the boat, I'm going to remember the waves and the skies and the stars, and not the struggles. The moments that are going to stay with me are all going to be positive ones.
I'm going to drop the rope off. You pull it in.
Part of history! Could have done it without you!
You know, I've never got to know people so completely and so intimately, and I cannot wait to celebrate and actually appreciate the enormity of this accomplishment once it's done.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again.
I hope that people understand we weren't ocean rowers, we weren't people that had done loads of amazing things before, and that didn't stop us from having a dream that was pretty big and from achieving it.
They're phenomenal girls. I'm so proud to be the mum of one of them.
Everybody has the power within themselves to achieve greatness, however that looks for them. I know now that anything I want to do in life, I will be able to do.
Life is there to live and not to just exist, and hopefully it's shown that, really.
Every day that I stepped onto the boat, I don't think a day that's gone past that I've not thought about the finish. But now I realise it was all about the journey.
The quote goes that you can never cross an ocean unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. To me now it means whatever the shore is next time, not to be afraid to row away from it.
I believe that everyone has their own Pacific to cross.
Confess that I'm afraid. Through the thick of the darkness I hear the waves, and I fight back the fear, knowing victory is near. We're too close to the finish to give it up here. So on we will go. Something tells me I'm doing it right. Lord knows it hasn't been easy to fight against the grain while they slander your name. But I shut down the noise and I hear my own voice, trusting all to lead me to here. So we will go, rowing through dangerous shores. We don't got a care inside. Something tells me I'm doing it Some dark